Hello, everybody. I'm running today. All right. Now I have to shrink this one down so I can get back to this. And let me, whew. Okay. All right. Got it straight. Oh my goodness. I knew what I was going to do. It was just a matter of, I did some work this morning, thank heavens. I have been running and running and running, and I'm still running. And I still didn't get everything I needed, but I'll get there. I started the morning off, I'm gonna get some water because I'm dying of thirst. I started the morning off with water aerobics, came home, took a shower that was like quick, blew dry my hair, grabbed a muffin, ran out the door to my quilt meeting, left the quilt meeting and ran home here. And now I'm this. When I'm done with this, I'm leaving here and taking my car in for service. One of those days, but it keeps me on my toes. And I am loving the idea today. I saw again, I went looking this morning as I'm laying in bed going, oh, I got to have something for YouTube Live. And I checked a couple of things. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. And then I saw something and I thought that would be a good idea because I don't know about you, but pattern paper is lovely. I love it. And it's perfect when it's on sale like it is this month. But I want to have some other ideas for backgrounds. And watercoloring is one of the best. And it is very, very easy. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do some watercolor background ideas for you. I have 2 cards that I'm going to do. Not certain how much will get done. I'm going to try, but we'll see. I'll go with it and we will have some fun and hopefully you'll get some ideas. Now, I have to tell you, I am super excited. I'm still picking up a few subscribers here and there. So if you're new to my channel, please feel free to share it with your friends. And then make sure you subscribe. Click that button below. And if you want to be notified when I upload a video, click the bell after you subscribe. And it will send you a notification that I have uploaded a video. And I believe you can have those notifications sent to your email because I get emails all the time that I've gone live, I've put a video up, that type of thing in mine. So you don't have to have it as a text message. But if you watch on your phone, you probably could use it as a text message. I really don't know. I do get notifications when I log in for the ones that I've subscribed to. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I have to do, I'm doing this in stages and, you'll see how it goes and we'll go from there. I will put that behind me because even though I'm working on water, I don't want it to get wet other than where I want it to get wet. So let me get ready and pull my camera over. It's actually my phone, and I'm going to spotlight it for everyone. Okay, and let me see, it's a little crooked. See if I can straighten it out some. That's better. Okay. For my first card, I'm going to use the Color and Contour stamp set, and I'm using this this image. I couldn't think. All right, and the first thing I want to do, I'm pulling down my other set because it's up there. The first thing I want to do is you want to take and you want to use your embossing buddy, and you're going to emboss in white the image. So I did that ahead of time because you don't want to hear me emboss this. All right. And now I'm going to add a background color to this. I have chosen Balmy Blue because I wanted it to be like like the sky. All right. So the first thing you need to do when you do this is you want to take a fairly flat brush and you're going to wet your brush and you're going to put your water on your, this is watercolor paper. Wet your watercolor paper. And the reason you want to do that is that way you can determine where it goes. Then you're going to take your paintbrush and you're going to pick up some color and you're just going to dab it around. And I'm just kind of following where my water is. If there is no water, the ink won't go there. So in other words, this will go here, but I didn't put water over here, so it's not going over there. It will bleed in that direction. But once the water stops, it stops. This one's really nice. All right, so you do that. Now I'm going to move this out of the way because the next step, I'm going to keep my water. The next step is this has to dry. You can't do the next step till this dries. So I'm going to move this over to my table, and through the magic of television, I have one that I have watercolored already. Now I'm going to color my flower, and I don't have my colors, so I'm going to pull my colors out. Hey, Joy. Hi, Betty Ann. And I pull them. So give me a minute to find my colors. I think I'm going to use, I have the Granny Apple Green, so I will use that over there. I think I'm going to use Berry Burst. Now, you do need to know, this is blue, and I'm going to put Berry Burst on here. This may be a purple flower. We won't know until I do it. All right, so taking another block and my Granny Apple Green, I'm going to add some ink to my block. Now you can do this on your mat also. This is not a good mat. This is one I bought off of Amazon that someone said, and this was years ago, that it's just as good as the more expensive ones. Wrong. It is not. So if you want to be able to do some sponging on here, make sure you take and you get a good mat. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put a little water. I'm getting my towel because I know I'll need it. Put a little water on your brush, and this is hopefully will work with this brush. I probably should have a small one. And I'm going to drop it in on my leaves. This is a small space, so it probably should have a small brush. And as you see, I have more than enough ink down there. So now I've got that on there. All right. So now I'm going to go in with my Berry Burst. And my Berry Burst is very, ooh, I went outside. Yeah, I need a smaller brush. Hang on, let me get a smaller brush. This one, I have a really tiny one, but I don't know where it is. I can use this one, I think. Why doesn't it want to come out? It's stuck. I'll rip it open, the holder. Oh my gosh. It was stuck. Now I don't know if I can use this one or not. Let me see. Do I have another one in here? I didn't take it out of its holder. Oh, you know what I'll use? I'll use a water brush. I didn't take it out of its holder. I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. And it did not. All right, this hasn't got enough water. So you're going to paint inside. And if you get it where you've embossed, that's okay, because you can take and wipe it off, but you have to wait for it to dry. This is lighter. All right. And if you get it someplace that you don't want it, and you catch it in time, I didn't think of this, but you can take your towel and blot it. So I'm kind of giving this a chance to soak in some. All right, and then I'm going to take my towel and I'm going to go back to this one and blot it. Don't pull or you'll spread it. All right, I'll let that one soak in some. And I'm going to put a little bit more water on here, and I'm going to do this little bud up here. And then I'll go to this one. But this is I love watercoloring. It's a technique that I just absolutely love. I don't know why. It's just, to me, it's fun. All right, so I've got that on there. I'm going to go over to this one, and I'm going to wipe it off. All right, I'm going to go to this one. I'm just going to kind of blot it off of the embossing. And I pulled it and it smeared a little bit, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. So there's the card for the first one. Now what I want to do is I want to let this dry and then I can finish it. So I'm going to set this one aside and I'm going to go to the next one. For the next one, I took and I did soft sea foam and I just did my background. I didn't emboss it. Let me get this out of here. And now I'm going to put this inside my Misty. And the reason I'm using my Misty is I'm going to stamp on here. Let me get my other magnet. I have a bar magnet that I use. I forgot to grab it because it's stuck on the side of my drawer. There. I want this to stay. I am using the stamp from Timeless Charm, which is a new one that you can get next month, and it goes with the Timeless arrangements. But I'm going to stamp some leaves on here. And this is watercolor paper. So I am using, I don't think I need this. I'm going to move it just to play it safe, because I will spill it and ruin it, and then I'll be mad. All right. I'm using my Misty because watercolor paper has a tooth to it. And if you want a good crisp image, you might have to stamp it more than once. So I'm going to stamp that in here. There's my little eraser. All right. See, that one's not bad. Let me stamp it again. Okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to move it, and I want it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it down. I'm not going to move it so that I don't blur it, which I did. Oh, darn. All right, let's see how bad it's going to look. Cross your fingers, guys. All right. That's not too bad. I'll give it another. So you can take and stamp your background. And this is a fun, if you, maybe there's a day you just want to play with color and do different things, then take and stamp your background. All right, let me move that out of the way. I'm done with my green. And I'm going to close this up. I had an idea I was going to do, and it's not going to work. So I'm going to modify. I'm pulling in my balmy blue, and I'm going to take a piece of balmy blue cardstock, and I'm using the stamp set, Cheerful Daisies. This is my class in July. I am loving the cards. I have a beginner plus, and an advanced. So if you're just starting out, you want a little bit of support, then you want the beginner's level. If you've been stamping for a little while, but you want to grow your stash and learn some techniques, then the beginner plus is what you want. If you've been stamping for a while and you love learning new things, you want the advanced, which has 2 fancy folds in it. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I don't live near you. You don't have to. I have my classes to go, and if you have the stamp set, I send you the kit, and then you take, and I send you a PDF that has the written directions and a link for YouTube videos showing you how to put the cards together. So you don't have to live near me. You can craft in your pajamas at the middle of the night if you want. We all have those nights we can't sleep, so this would be a perfect thing. So think about that, and we're going to get started. And you know what? Since I had to modify this, I was going to do it. Oh, no, I can do it. I can do it the way I was going to. Oh, my gosh. I just remembered. All right, let me grab some paper here. Of course, now I have to cut this out, so I'm going to shift things around real quick here. All right, I'm going to take the balmy blue, and I'm going to stamp my outline stamp. And I'm going to do 3 of them. All right, 1, 2, and I'm leaving some space since I'm going to die cut them. 3. I need a scrap paper. Where is my scrap papers? I have all these scrap papers, and when I need one, I can never find it. Okay, there's one. All right, I'm letting that dry some. Now I'm going to take the solid image, and I'm going to off stamp it because I want it really light, and I'm going to stamp it inside. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh. The colors. It's easier if you stamp the outline first, because then you can see where your image is and where to stamp your petals so you get it lined up. There we go. So I've got my flower stamped, and I stamped the leaves to show you, you can stamp on watercolor paper afterwards. Now I need my centers, and I didn't grab my pink, so let me grab my daffodil. And this is my center that I'm going to stamp right in the middle, like so. And with it being photopolymer, you can see where you're stamping. There's that. Now, I need to grab my die out of here, and you want the outline. The dies in this are fabulous. They have the outlines, they have the, I have to stop and think. I'm trying to line this up and talk. Can't do 2 things at once. They have the outlines, and then they have little pieces you can cut out and add to the top. I went for the outline. I wanted it fairly quick and easy. All right, now when you take this off, be careful. And I'm going to do the next one. And if you stamp them all the same way, it makes it fairly easy to to put your tape on without having to reline it up every time. See, so my bottom piece is always at the bottom. So I've got that. I've got one more to do, and I did 3, not knowing if I will use 3 or not. There it goes. Okay, come on. All right, why is this not lining up? There it goes. Okay, let me cut my last one out. And we can go with putting this one together, and then I can go back to the other card. Ah, good. I was a little worried I was going to rip it. All right, so I've got my 3 pieces. Move this out of the way. All right. This is 4 by 5 1/4, but I think I'm going to cut this down. So I think I'm going to go down to 5 by 3 3/4. If you want a sentiment on, you need to add your sentiment using your MISTI also, because if you don't, you won't get it on there. All right, I'm going to put this one down flat, and this is all dry now. I'm so mad I messed that up. So I should have wiped it off, but I didn't. Now I am going to use my ATG gun. And the reason being is the tape on this, they use on picture frames. And I know it will stick. These I'm going to put on with dimensionals. So if I can find my dimensionals. Okay, did I use? No, I didn't. It's a little tiny one. All right, I found these. These are from Paper Pumpkin. I'll use those. All right. Let me cut this off. All right. These are just thicker than ours, and I don't, the Paper Pumpkin ones are thicker. I like the thinner ones. But in a pinch, these will do. All right, come on. Well, all right, and I'm going to put one here. And one here and here. All right. Now, I don't know if I have any balmy blue. Oh, I do. I have some new ribbon that might work with this. So I'll grab it real quick and see. And then we can add it to a, oh, pooh, I don't want to hide my, I may only do 2. I don't want to hide all my, all right, that one should have been moved out further. Let me go that way with it. All right, I didn't want to hide all my stamping. All right, let me look at my ribbon and see what I have. I do have a couple of blues. Let's see if I have one that will work. I have that, which is very nice. And I have this one. This one is Night of Navy. I think I'm going to do navy. This one is Misty Moonlight. And I think the navy goes better with the balmy blue. So I'm going to use that. So let me add my ribbon. I think I'm going to need some gems, but it'll probably be the rhinestones. Because it'll just be easier. I may look and see. I'll have to look in my catalog and see if I have any that are for balmy blue. If I do, I could use those. I know I have old navy ones. And I may use that. And did you see how I hid that spot up in the top? Okay. You know what? I'm going to add tape to this all the way around because I want to make sure this sticks. Okay. All right. Let me do this. And all the way around. And the reason I'm doing this is, again, watercolor paper has a tube to it. It's also can be warped slightly when you watercolor on it. So there's that. Now, let me see. Do I want a navy card base? And naturally, I don't have a navy one cut. So I think I do want the navy. I think the navy will look better. Yeah, navy looks better. So let me do that. Have you guys got any watercolor background ideas? It's been a while since I've done it. I thought it would be a good idea to do it. Right. I love watercoloring. It's, oh, now see, I didn't burnish it and the whole thing pulled up. Come on, there it goes. So make sure you burnish your ends. It's more critical when you have like watercolor paper. For some reason, it just doesn't like to grab it. So if you burnish it, you're good. All right, all the way around. Betty Ann, I can't believe you haven't done watercolor backgrounds. You've been stamping a long time, and I thought for certain you had. Joy, I know you probably have. So, all right, so there's that. Now I need to do my bow. I have a bow. If you don't like to make bows, then tie a knot on there. I like bows. I like the look of them. There. Let me trim these off. And I will pull in my, I think the other side is probably the better side. Yeah, that's the side I'm going to use. All right, let me get my glue dots. I like watercoloring also because it's a good way to extend the use of your supplies. I mean, I used a ink pad and stamped it on a block. If you want darker colors, then what you want to do is you want to use your re-inker. Your re-inker is more concentrated and you will get a darker color. Now I'm going to pull this one down when I stick it down so it kind of stays down. So there's that. Now, gems. What gems do we have? Do we have any that are navy? Let's see. Like I said, I know I have the old ones. It doesn't, I'm not seeing any navy. I'm seeing all the other colors, but not navy. So I'm going to go to the holiday rhinestones, which are from way back. I have some left, and this has a navy. So I'm going to add these in. And I love this because they have 3 different sizes. And There we go. Now, if you want a sentiment, you can put a sentiment in there. I'm not too worried about the sentiment, but there's that. Now, let's go back to this one. And I know one of these has berry burst in it. Again, because it's a narrow panel that I've used, I'm going to cut this down. It's best to start with a bigger piece than you need, because then you can always cut it down. And I'm not wasting a lot because I'm cutting off 1/4 of an inch on each side. All right, now I used Granny Apple Green, Berry Burst, and Balmy Blue. So let's see what color. Here is Balmy Blue. Let's see. Get a good look. Here is Berry Burst. And here is Granny Apple Green. So which color should I use? I'm going to look for a sentiment. I know I have one. Here's the one I want. Okay, I'm going to pull in my Misty again. Take off my other stamp. So let me give myself some room here. I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to put my sentiment. I'll put that up there, because I'm thinking I'm going to put my sentiment down here. Got to move this up some. I think I'm going to put my sentiment right there. So now, what color do I stamp my sentiment, and what color background do I use? What do you think, guys? I've got Granny Apple Green, Berry Burst, Balmy Blue, and I've got all the colors here. So it doesn't matter. I can use whichever one. I don't know if I want to use Granny Apple Green for the sentiment. And the reason being is I think it would look funny. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with, whoops, I forgot. This one needs, don't get your magnets together. They clamp together and you could break them. I need to use my foam pad because I have a photopolymer stamp. When you have the red rubber, you don't need the foam pad. When you have the photopolymer, you need to use the, all right. So I got a berry from Betty Ann. So the berry for the sentiment or the berry for the background, or both. I'm thinking you want the berry for the sentiment. So let's see. I don't think it would look good with the, I've got to be careful here. I got a little ink on the bottom. All right. Now, I have to tell you, this, the Berry Burst pad, well, that's not too bad. I'm not going to stamp it again because the Berry Burst pad is very juicy. It's one of those ones I rinsed out and then I re-inked it. It doesn't do well for some reason. So that looks good. I'm leaving it. I think if I stamped it again, it's not going to look good. So I'm going to get that out of the way. And now we have to decide, are we using, and I'll put this down, and while you guys are deciding, I'll give you one more look. There's the Granny Apple Green. there's the balmy blue. And here's the berry burst. And if I use it, I'm going to put that on the back. It bled. I turned over my cracked re-inker and it bled. So you tell me, what color card base should I do while I put the tear and tape on the back of here, and I'll look for a berry burst or granny apple green gems. Ooh, granny apple green gems would be fun. I think they would be fun, but I don't know if we have any granny apple green gems. I've never seen any. Even retired, I don't remember ever seeing granny apple green gems. Those of you who've been around for a while, have you ever seen granny apple green gems? Let me know if you have. All right, let me pull out my catalog while I look. Oh, thanks, Biddy Ann. I like it too. Let's see. That's Lagoon. There's a lemon lime twist, but I don't think that would work. I can pull it over and see. I'm not seeing. I got Parakeet Party. There's no granny apple green gems. Oh, all right, let me get the In Color Pearls and the Tinsel Gem 4-pack and see. And which color did you decide for my card base? There's that one. Tinsel Gems 4-pack. And what was the other one? The In Color Pearls. I know I have the In Color Pearls. I'm not finding them. Darn. That's the 3-pack. I need the 4-pack, which I've got. That's In Color. Well, I know I have the In Color ones. This is what they're saying is lemon lime twist. Let me see if I can pull this off without these flying everywhere. So I could do those. Or I could use something else because I don't see the Parakeet Party ones, which probably would have worked well with that, but this doesn't look bad. All right, let me see. No opinions, I guess. There's that. I think I like the green. I'm going to go with the green. All right, let me put this stuff out of the way. And this hasn't been scored, and I think it needs to be cut down. And I think this was 5, a little bit bigger than 5 1/4. Okay, here we go. And I can't tell if anybody is still here or not. It doesn't tell me on here on this one. I don't know what I used before, or if I didn't, to know if anybody is watching and if they're still here. I know that internet issues, I have to tell you, we may have internet issues, but my friend Vicky, oh my gosh, I don't know how she does it in, oops, almost put that on upside down, in Australia. her internet drops constantly. We at least might have some issues, but that's it. All right, all right. This color is, where's my paper? This color is Berry Burst, and this color is Lemon Lime Twist. So which color, green or pink, do I use for my sentiment? I mean, for my gems? Well, let me know which ones you want. And while you're deciding, this was the brush I went to get, which is a good brush, but they put it in this stuff and it's, oh, such a mess. Got it out of there. Thank heavens. I was beginning to think I'd lost this brush. This is a good brush, but I got it out. So now I can, okay, I can keep it. Okay, Betty Ann says pink. And that's what I'm going with. Joy, I don't know if you're still here or not, if you've had to leave or whatever. So I'm going to take a big one. Let me see if my take your pick tool will work on these. Yes. Sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. And then I'm going to put another little one and another little one. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to put one there and a little one there. I wish they did 1 row of big and 3 rows of little. The 2 and the 2, I end up using up my little ones long before I use up my big ones. So there's our cards for today with watercolor backgrounds. Have a play. Make sure you share what you create. It's lots of fun to create some backgrounds. And let me get ready and turn, or actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this spotlight and spotlight me and get this out of my face so you can see my face, not that you want to. All right, so shoot cards. And as you saw, easy to do. Now you have to do them in stages. I will take the one that I did like this that's drying, and I might do different colors to show you. Thanks, Betty Ann. And give you some ideas for how to use it. I should have probably done the vine up further, but I forgot. You know, first time playing, you never know. I could have done it, but I'd already put it down on my card. So sometimes you have to play with it and lay things out before you glue it down. All right, I will be back next Wednesday at noon for another Facebook Live or YouTube Live. I hope you have a great afternoon, guys. I'm headed to the car dealership to get my car serviced.